Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber, and he's going to share his story, which in my opinion is definitely one of the crazier stories that I've gone over in a while. And you're going to see as I get into this guy makes pretty much every mistake and does every wrong thing I tell you guys all the time not to do with women, okay? And a little bit of a summary of this is that basically you're going to see that he's been married not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 different women, obviously, and been in many bad relationships, and he's now going to get into another relationship with a woman who is a complete total train wreck. She's right there in the hot crazy scale, so he cannot, he sees all the problems she has, all the red flags, but still, because she's hot, and this guy's obviously a moron when it comes to women, no offense bro, but you know it's true, and you're going to see all the problems that he invites into his life, and all the things that happen here. So I'm going to go over this, guys. You're going to see eventually in the end, as he tells his story, he obviously knows he screwed up and was screwing up, but he just did it anyway. And some of the main themes of this story, guys, so you don't make the mistakes this guy does, is number 1, the hot crazy scale. It is 100% accurate, and it does happen all the time with women, okay? I'm sure many of you guys have met women that were gorgeous, great bodies, beautiful face, all that, but they were nuts, okay? I've known plenty throughout my life. Absolutely crazy. That is dead on. Another thing to understand about is in this video and to remember is to always stand up for yourself. Always don't accept things that you're unwilling to go for just because the girl's hot or you're afraid you're going to lose her or something like that. Because when men are doormats and they let women walk all over them, they're not going to respect them. But most guys think they got to do pretty much whatever they want, the woman wants, to make her happy, and that will make them like them more. It's always the opposite, okay? You always have to stand up for yourself and be willing to walk away if you're not going to get what you want. Another lesson in this story is red flags. Always pay attention to the red flags. Most guys let it go because, again, how hot she is or how much they really like her or really hoping to get laid, okay? And the last thing is, the important theme of this story, which you'll see, is the whole white knight thing. Guys that want to be the hero and save women that obviously seem to have problems and all that stuff like that. No. You do not be the white knight. It always ends badly. Or as a lot of guys talk about here on this the sphere, Captain Save-A garden hoe. You know what I mean by that. Don't do it. It's a giant mistake. So anyhow, I'm going to get into this guy's story. You're going to see why I'm saying about these different things to pay attention to. And hopefully none of you guys make these mistakes. It starts off. I've been subscribed to your channel for the past year now. As a man, we all know several phrases uttered by every woman in our lives that absolutely make our skin crawl with disgust. Let's just be friends, or someday you'll find someone. Obviously, this guy's heard this a lot throughout his life, and you'll find out real quickly why he's heard this throughout his life. My story starts off about 10 years ago when I first met this woman. She was dating a friend of mine, and I was amazed at how strikingly beautiful she was. Pay attention to that. It was also striking of how screwed up she was. What can I say? I was young. We've all made that mistake. Some of us who have abused the privilege more than a couple times know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, there's the first sign. If you know how screwed up she is, get away. But when you're young, you don't know any better. Most of the time you want somebody to advise you, and you make the mistake of being drawn in by the hot ones. No matter how much you know, no matter how much your gut is telling you, run. Okay? How many of you guys have been through this? I've been through it. I made the mistake. It's not until you're older and you recognize these things that you don't make the mistakes again. But then again, a lot of guys do, so, go figure. After several failed, horribly tragic, funny, and completely cringe-worthy relationships and 3 failed marriages, I made the foolish choice of giving this woman a chance in the fall of 2019. So, this guy has been married not once, not twice, but 3 times. Not to mention, as he mentioned, all these cringe-worthy failed relationships. Dude, you are hereby banned from getting married again, okay? If you couldn't do it right the first few times, then what makes you think it's going to happen again? In fact, to be honest, you should be taking a break from women altogether and immersing yourself in my videos and other guys who have channels on YouTube's videos to educate yourself so you don't get yourself into this kind of trouble ever again, okay? But you're banned from getting married again. That's it. 3 times you couldn't get it right, forget it. You're done. He says, now even though we're all adults, and we all know that even adults can make their own decisions, good or bad, this was the one time I wish I would have just remained friends with this woman. She has 3 children, all from different fathers. Wow, she sounds like a catch. One is with her ex-husband and his mistress's wife. The other, she lost custody to her former mother-in-law because of her ex-boyfriend being a something offender. You can fill in the blanks. And yes, I was there for it all. Now you're probably wondering why I would even entertain the idea of being with this woman. Well, simply put, I was very stupid. Yes, my friend, you were stupid, but I respect you for at the very least admitting it and owning up to it. And writing this email so other people can learn from this. What I tell you about the hot crazy scale? She's smoking hot, but guess what? 3 kids from 3 different daddies. And this is just the beginning. It started off fine. Everything was going great. She was funny, fun, sexy, and she knew how to use it. Well, duh, they all do. I work in a technology involving highly specialized electronics, most of which was over her head completely. Well, probably because she was dumb as a post. Whenever I tried to talk what I was working on, she would always stop me mid-sentence or second sentence in and say something like, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff, or I just don't understand it. Dude, if you're obviously if you have a high-tech job and you're an engineer, then you need to be involved with a woman that's obviously higher education, knows certain things, not trailer trash that's going to stop you mid-sentence and not let you talk because she doesn't get it or even care to understand what you're talking about. Okay? It's your job. It's your life. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care how great her body is. I don't care how great in the sack she is. Okay? Seriously. He says, we all know women do shit tests. Well, guys, this one was a big one. I was going to leave you all face-palming yourselves wondering why in the hell I would stick around for this. She brought up the subject of an STD that she might have. Gee, there's a surprise. Now myself being the almost eternal optimist at the time, I was thinking, whatever it is, we can work through this. Thinking condoms or being careful, we're just taking a test to confirm that is what she said. And then this. Under no circumstances would she get tested for me. Again, most guys would have left long before this, but because I have known her most of my life, I was thinking maybe she'd change her mind. In other words, he can change her. He can save her, okay? If she's saying that she may have an STD, and he obviously knows, hey, you better get checked out before we obviously start hooking up or whatever, he has every right to demand this, but she's not going to do it. Because in her mind, why should she? She can see right through this guy. She can see this guy is weak, he's a doormat, and she can have her way with him. And you're going to see, she was exactly right. Guys, if there's something important you want done, like for instance this situation, he wants her to have a test to find out, make sure she doesn't have an STD. If she's unwilling to do it, he should have walked. That's it. Hey, get the test, let me see the results, otherwise I'm out of here. Goodbye. I guarantee you that if she liked the guy and respected him, she would have done it. And in fact, she would have even probably had her level of respect for would have gone up by him sticking to his guns about that. But did he do that? No. And you're going to see how her perception of him, which is accurate, I might add, impacted things later on down the road. You don't do this, guys. If there's something you need done, it's something you want, you got to stand your ground. And if not, you're out of there. You make it abundantly clear. Said I was an idiot for thinking that she would change her mind, and she never did. See? Every time she would try to make an advance, I would come up with an excuse until eventually she asked me, why haven't I tried anything yet? And when I told her, she made it sound like I thought she had cooties. He's referring to he's not sleeping with her until she gets that test, but he's not enforcing it. I said, what are you, 12? It wasn't just sex that was an issue. She never wanted to go anywhere I wanted to go or do anything I wanted to do that I thought was fun. It was always all about her. Well, you made it all about her. You put up with this bad behavior. If you're going to be in a relationship with someone, it's got to be a two-way street. Sometimes you can do stuff that she enjoys. Other times you do stuff you enjoy. Talk about things you enjoy. But if it's always about her and you can't talk about what you enjoy and she doesn't want to do anything that you want to do, what does that say? Obviously she's a selfish asshole, but also she knows she can get her way with you. She knows she can get away with guys, obviously, because she's had 3 kids from 3 different daddies, and Lord knows how many guys that she's been riding the carousel with, considering that she's worried she has an STD. But now, or she said that on purpose so she doesn't have to sleep with a guy, who knows. But now, She doesn't want to do anything he wants to do. Again, this is what any guy that has any value, any self-esteem, any self-worth would have walked. But again, he's not doing that. See what I mean? And her treatment of him gets worse and worse and worse. It was always about her. When her former mother-in-law started making trouble for her again, I stepped in and I spent a few $1,000s on a lawyer. She did indeed get a visitation every other weekend with her son, and it will remain nameless. He's a good kid, and even the judge said he was glad that his mother and I were seeing each other, implying that she finally had a good taste in men. No, she just found a guy that was an idiot, that would do whatever she said, and I might add, start paying bills for her. So this guy used some of his hard-earned money to pay for her legal fees in her little, Jerry Springer situation with all her kids. Goes on. One more thing I thought I'd fixed. Another month down the road, and her landlord started giving her problems with her monthly payments. Imagine that. Guess who's going to come and save the day? Guess what super doofus jumped in to save the day again? As it turns out, her previous ex before me and her signed a rent-to-own agreement on a run-down piece of property on the side of a cliff facing a mountain lake. The house was clear garbage, but she was in love with it, the view of the lake, and that was it. So me being the good guy, incredibly stupid boyfriend I was, you guessed it, I bought the entire property for just over $11,000. So he spent the money on the lawyer for her with the kid, $11,000 on the property because she was behind the bills and wanted to get it. I might add, he's not getting laid. He can't talk about the things he enjoys. She doesn't want to do the stuff he wants to do. This sounds like a great relationship. No guy that has any clue, no guy that has any value would ever no guy with any value would stand up with this shit. But only a guy that has low self-esteem, no self-worth, okay, is weak, and is just wants to be, basically is a doormat. Don't do this, guys. You see, I've told you, he does all these things I tell you not to do. Is it any wonder she treats him this way? Is it any wonder he's had 3 failed marriages and all these train wreck relationships? End of story. It's not always, at the end of the day, we teach people how to treat us. Really. So, it isn't just, obviously, this woman here is obviously a piece of garbage, but I'm sure the other ones were as well. But the point at the end of the day is, this guy invited this treatment. This guy invited this bad behavior. You got to take ownership of your action, guys. It continues. During this entire time, the coronavirus was doing its thing to the rest of the country, while our idiot politicians were shutting things down and making life an absolute hell for people who can actually do work. Well, in this story, it isn't the politicians that were just the idiots, because the dude telling this story was an idiot too. Let's be fair here. In the time we had been together, she had already been through 3 jobs. She couldn't keep the first one because she couldn't keep her mouth shut. She lost the second one because apparently the owner's wife didn't like him hitting on her. The third job she lost because a former coworker came in and told her the boss's job. I can't talk. The third job she lost because a former coworker came in and told her the boss's job took the job right from under him and had her fired all in the time of a year. This guy did a shitty job of writing the story, and I had to actually go in and change some things, so that's why these words were jumbled together. Guys, if you're going to send me a story, make sure you write in good punctuation, good paragraphs, do some proofreading, okay? I get so many emails, I'm going to ditch them and not going to be able to do them if they're not written well. There's a lot of stories I've gotten in emails that I'd like to do, but they're written so badly that I don't have time for this shit. So, I appreciate the guy sending this, but you got to do some proofreading, guys. Anyway, in all this time, I've become rather attached to the children. Hearing a little girl call you daddy for 3 months in 2020 and feeling your heart jump every time she did it just to know that it worked. So this guy is obviously staying in for the kids. He likes the kids and feeling, needed and all that. Back to the white knight thing and all that. And I wanted to comment that she lost her 3 jobs in a year. Big surprise there. Was again more signs about how much of a classy girl this girl is. Now you're probably wondering, but in all this time, almost 7 months have gone by and not once did we ever have sex. We tried 3 times and I faked not being able to get it up simply because she wouldn't go and get an STD like I had repeatedly asked. Not demanded, but asked her to do. That's your problem, Sherlock. You should have demanded it. And if she wasn't going to do it, you walk. End of story. But just asking, please, please, please go get the STD test. What the hell do you expect? She has several sisters that she's close to. The three of us went to her sister's house for Thanksgiving. 1 week later, it was her birthday, and her sister we went to a karaoke party on a Thursday. On a Thursday night at a bar, where there was barely a few people there. I found out about a month later, she met a guy there who had been recently divorced and raked through the coals. And yet she was fascinated by this guy. The very next Saturday, after our last outing, as soon as I got home, she said, "We need to talk." We all know no good conversation ever starts with "we need to talk." She told me that because I lived 45 minutes away and because we never had sex, that we should end it. But the icing on the cake was me wanting a child with her. What? Are you out of your mind? You want to have a child with her? And she explicitly said several times that she did not want another child. Dude, you invited this into your life. I don't feel bad for you, okay? I really hope you learn from this story, but you invited all this shit in your life. Hang on to your seats, folks, because this is where the story gets weird. Like it hasn't been weird already. So December 5th, she dumps me, and less than a week later, she's with the guy that she met at the karaoke bar. Dude, she just did you the favor of a lifetime. You should have been jumping for joy and doing cartwheels in your backyard that she dumped you to get this piece of garbage out of your life. Now, I'd gotten quite attached to the children, and for all her idiosyncrasies, I had even gotten attached to her. All I did for her meant nothing. The guy she left me for supposedly could not have children and offered her ample proof of the subject. The guy is generally a scatterbrain and couldn't make up his mind about hardly anything. 2 weeks into the new relationship, he dumps her for some ridiculous reason involving another family member and stress. Imagine that. This confuses her, so what does she do? Well, she calls me. Lets me know that she's been dumped by the guy that she met in the karaoke bar and wants to know if we can talk. I'm thinking, great. We're going to get back together. Stupid idea to think that. It wasn't just a stupid idea to think that, we're going to get back together. It was stupid for you to want to get back together with her. What the hell are you getting out of this? You're not getting laid. She doesn't want to do anything you want to do. She won't take the STT test. She takes advantage of you financially. She can't keep a job. What the hell, dude? Again, 3 marriages and all these train wreck relationships. Some guys do not learn until they are literally just raked over the coals, put through absolute hell. It takes all that for them to wake up and learn. It's unbelievable. She wasn't interested in getting back together with me, but she did take the guy who dumped her back. Again, I was devastated. I spent Christmas alone in an empty house that I was preparing to have her and her children move into. She had even talked about wanting a food truck business, and I was getting ready to purchase one for her as a Christmas gift. Oh yeah, I know this all sounds incredibly stupid on my part. Yep. So naturally, she takes him back, and he continually lies to her. And sure enough, the very things she did not want from me, she got double from him. You guessed it, she's now pregnant with twins from a guy who supposedly couldn't have kids. And yes, she's going to have them. So now she's going to have 5 kids from multiple different daddies. What a classy girl. This girl did him a favor by dumping him, and yet he did not see that. Finding this out sealed away any idea that I was finding out from her person. Here we go with his shitty writing again. Dude, I don't mean to be an asshole. Dude, I appreciate you saying this letter, but you gotta proofread, and seriously. Finding this out sealed away any idea that I was finding out from her personally by accident, where she met him made me not want her back. Naturally, I tried POF, which should be called Plenty of Fish, several other dating pages and sites, one of them Facebook Singles. All of them are garbage. I was in fact so fed up with them, I simply went to my local hospital and asked out the phlebotomist, whatever the hell that is. We've been sleeping together for the last 3 months. So you went from one relationship and jumped immediately into another one. How about being alone? How about being alone for a while and fixing your shit? How about being alone and really educating yourself and learning about dating, pickup, relationships, female nature, all that? That's what you should be doing, not jumping into one relationship after another so you don't feel this emptiness. But again, look at your past history, man, of all these train wrecks, all these problems. You got to pick out the patterns and say, where am I going wrong? Otherwise, your life will continue to be this mess. In the meantime, she's pregnant with twins from a redneck she met in a karaoke bar. In the meantime, I have lost 35 pounds from working out of anger. I'm seeing a very sweet woman with substantially less baggage. Well, dude, she shouldn't have any baggage. That's your problem. You keep getting involved with these women that have all this drama and problems and baggage. Is it to be the white knight? The old Captain Save a Garden Hoe thing? Come on here. You can't feel bad for this guy. I don't, because he brings all these problems in his life. He's an adult man, okay? Substantial as baggage. She should have no baggage. Learn from your mistakes. The sad part is, I actually feel sorry for the redneck. He's about to experience extremely expensive and easily aggravated woman who constantly wants her way. And I genuinely feel sorry for and miss the kids more than anything. They're the real victims in all this. Well, it's sad about those kids. It really is. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if later on down the road those kids end up in foster care or something like that, because she's obviously a freaking mess and those kids are going to be screwed up by her. But at the end of the day, it's not your problem. Your life is your problem. Be responsible for you. Stop being the white knight. I can't stress that enough. I could have been her way out instead of simply watching from afar as she lost her job. She's about to lose her car because it's in my name and I'm going to have it repoed. It's not your problem. And good, get it repoed because it's in your name. In reference to the guy that she's with, he's having to work 2 jobs just to pay for her kids, and the twins he's expecting. And if he lasts 6 months, he will have lasted longer than her last marriage, which lasted 3 months. After rereading all this, you're probably wondering, why the hell would an engineer want to be with a train wreck like her? Well, I gotta tell you, man, she isn't just a train wreck. You're a train wreck. You're a 3 marriages and all these failed relationships and getting involved with a woman that completely uses you for your money, for your time, everything. And you're not getting laid, and she doesn't do anything you enjoy. You're also a train wreck. Let's be honest here. But you have the capability of changing your life. It ain't over, but you got to take a good hard look at yourself and your life and make some changes, because you just invite problems into your life, man. Life's too short. And so I don't mean to be an asshole, but I don't feel bad for you. You're a grown-ass man. You got to learn the lessons. Simply put, I thought I could help someone, and it cost me $20,000. If I wasn't loaded, I'd be more pissed about it that itself. My new girl is wonderful. It's the best sex I've had in 5 years. Well, good for you. Don't fuck it up. I've known her since we were in high school. Oh, I was a senior and she was a freshman. And yes, she wants to give me a son like I wanted from the previous girl. We're not rushing into things, and we're taking our time. And since she enjoys doing the things I want to do, I see a lot more trips in my future, and definitely a lot more sex. I will give you an update as soon as I can. Okay, man, well, it sounds like you're having a good time with this girl. You're getting laid finally, and she likes the stuff that you do, and vacations and all that. Good. Okay, that's a good thing. But in this situation, like I said, don't fuck it up. You know? If she starts being difficult, and there are things that are deal breakers, learn to walk away. Stand up for yourself. Don't be a doormat like you were with the previous trailer trash woman's relationship, okay? Stand up for yourself. Don't be the white knight and trying to save somebody, okay? You got to save yourself, my friend. You need lots of saving, okay? But you're already in this relationship with her, okay? Don't screw it up. But I highly recommend, you've been watching my channel for a year. Good for you. Keep watching my videos. Go back and watch my old videos. Start looking for other channels as well that have good information. I'm not the only game in town. And learn from them. Get some good books. Understand female nature. Work on yourself, okay? Stop being a doormat, because all the problems you've had in previous marriages and relationships, you're going to keep having, mark my words, until you stop being a doormat and you start standing up for yourself and get this whole I got to save people thing out of your head. I don't care how much money you have, okay? You said you lost $20,000. It wasn't a big deal to you. That's still 20 grand. You got done far greater things than that 20 grand that wasted on that piece of trash and wasted the time in your life. Okay? And I know I've been harsh in this video, but this guy's got to hear it. Okay? And so for you guys watching this, use this guy's story. Use this to help you not make the same mistakes. Or guaranteed, in one form or another, you're going to have bad treatment from other people just like him. Okay? It may not be as to this extent, but it can happen. So anyhow, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.